बिहारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी न तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Let us pray together. Om Ajnana-तिमिरान्धस्य अनाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललितान् श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देव्ये गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. शृण्वतां स्वकथाः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदीयन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सतां. नष्टप्रायेष्व अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So welcome you all on Fast Track Bhakti Vaibhav course by ISKCON Sri Radha Govinda Mandir Mangaluru. On behalf of the temple, I welcome all of you and let us look at presentation. Please let me know if the screen is visible.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is
Yes,
visible.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is visible. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam, Hare Krishna, thank you. So we are on chapter 16, the first canto. The title is How Parikshit Received the Age of Kali. So if you remember earlier the questions of sages of Naimisharanya, they were asking about birth and activities of Maharaj Parikshit. And in the earlier chapter, maybe 12th chapter, we had Maharaj Yudhishthir receiving the predictions about the qualities of Maharaj Parikshit and his activities, and so many glorifications by so many munis and pandits. So Now, in this chapter, the qualities and activities, great activities of Maharaj Parikshit is being discussed. So we'll just see the flow of the chapter. So, come on. Yes. So this is the background of Canto 1. So first 3 chapters are about 6 questions by the series of Saranya and answers by Srila Sud Goswami. Then 4 to 7 is the history of Bhagavatam, history of author of Srimad Bhagavatam, basically, and how Maharishi Vedvyas got inspiration to write Srimad Bhagavatam from his guru, Narada Muni. And then from chapter 7, basically 12th verse onwards, so we have till 19th chapter, history of Maharaj Parikshit, as we discussed birth and activities mainly. So now for this particular chapter, the first 4 verses are about Maharaj Parikshit as an ideal ruler and punishing Kali. And particularly first 2 chapters, first 2 verses are discussing about Maharaj Parikshit's personal life. He gets married with the daughter of King Uttara, and he gets 4 sons. And what's the name of the eldest son? Maharaj Parikshit's eldest son, very famous. Hare Krishna.
Janamejaya.
Hari
Janamejaya.
Right. So that comes in the first 2 verses. And then the third verse talks about Aswamedha Yajna, horse sacrifice, 3 horse sacrifices carried out.
The voice is low, Prabhuji.
The voice is low. Okay.
Yeah.
I will try to speak louder. So, third verse is about the 3 horse sacrifices carried out by Maharaj Parikshit. And the fourth verse is about chastising Kali. And basically, the Kali is in the form of king. King means generally Kshatriyas become king. And at the Vedic times. And then basically he was a Shudra, but he appeared as a Kshatriya. So Parikshit Maharaj chastises him. So those things comes, and then 5 to 9 again Sonakrusi's questions. Basically, those are very fundamental questions about the qualities of a devotee. So we'll learn. It's a very important verses. And today we are required to cover up to 15th verse. So Sud Goswami describes the movements of Maharaj Parikshit as a conqueror, as once he...
Friday, na? Very good.
Hare Krishna. So we'll read from the purport of Srila Prabhupada, feeling of separation from the Lord. So Prabhupada says, since the Lord is absolute, deep meditation upon him is as good as yogic trance. The Lord is not different from his name, form, quality, pastimes, entourage, and specific actions. Arjun began to think of the Lord's instructions to him on battlefield of Kurukshetra. Only those instructions began to eliminate the tinges of material contamination in the mind of Arjuna. Right? So Bhagavad Gita's message is something which brings a person out of deep sorrow. We can say psychological torments. And the Lord is like the sun. Prabhupada says the sun's appearance means immediate dissipation of darkness or ignorance. And the Lord's appearance within the mind of devotee can at once drive away the miserable material effects. Lord Chaitanya has therefore recommended constant chanting of the name of the Lord for protection from all contamination of the material world. The feeling of separation from the Lord is undoubtedly painful to the devotee, but because it is in connection with the Lord, it has a specific transcendental effect which pacifies the heart. Feelings of separation are also source of transcendental bliss, and they are never comparable to contaminated material feelings of separation. So, like people say that the Vrajvasis, they were the most, troubled by Krishna when he left Vrindavan for Mathura, and then he never returned, it says. And throughout their life, Yashoda Maiya, Nand Baba, and all Vrajvasis were lamenting due to separation from Krishna. But here, Acharya explains us the importance of separation, viraha bhav, in the progress of spiritual life, in particularly in devotional service. And Prabhupada time and again mentions at many places that the separation, the viraha, is more important for spiritual progress than, milan, means meeting. So feeling of separation is very important. And as we see even throughout the chapters, what we have come across, Kunti's best offering, which is known as prayers of Queen Kunti, comes when Krishna was going to separate, right? So we can realize even when Bhishma was to separate, basically he was to leave his physical body. Then the best of Itimati Rupakalpita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni. Very wonderful prayers it has come. So across the Bhagavatam, if we see, when there is a separation, the intense feeling of love comes out, which is dormant in the heart of a devotee, and which generally doesn't comes out during the meeting time, right? So it's a wonderful purport which Prabhupada gives and helps us to understand that we need to, as being in a Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, we need to understand that the separation is the highest feeling in spiritual evolution. And the idol of our Sampradaya is gopis. And gopis are those who are feeling intense separation from Krishna, right? So we have to understand that here now directly third verse purport is mentioned. Importance of taking guidance of spiritual master or teacher. Even for a king like Maharaj Parikshit, there was a need for spiritual master for guidance. Without such guidance, one cannot make progress in spiritual life. The words are mentioned, cannot. The spiritual master must be bona fide. First requirement is we have to have spiritual master. If we remember, as part of Bhakti Sastri, when we studied the Nectar of Devotion, then Rupa Goswami mentions 64 angas of devotional service, and the topmost priority among them is to have Guru Asraya, right? And then get holy name, the initiation from Guru, right? So these are the very basic fundamental requirements for spiritual progress. And to accept a guru, what should be the criteria? Then Prabhupada says he must be a bona fide. Bona fide means that he should be in a succession of guru-disciple relationship. And then one who wants to have self-realization must approach, the words are used, must approach and take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master to achieve real success. So this is a basic fundamental requirement. As such, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is available to anyone and everyone. The person who joins Krishna consciousness, even on the first day, we tell them even in the L1 class to chant Hare Krishna, right? In many classes, at the end of the class, we have chanting of Hare Krishna after a few chapters, right? So somebody may get amused that why Guru is required. Anyway, the same mantra is available. No, the intensity, the relationship is very important between devotee and his Guru, his spiritual master, because that connects him with the live parampara of Guru-disciplic relationship. And like as we say that if there is a electrical supply available in the socket, the moment we connect the adapter, immediately the electricity will flow. So it is such an important aspect of spiritual journey. And basically, before that, in the fourth verse, in the description of Kali comes that Kali, how does Kali look like, and what he was doing. So he was looking like a king, as we discussed earlier, and he was punishing or trying to kill the bull, you know. So by his activities, by his qualities, it can be perceived that he is a Sudra. But his appearance, like he wore very opulent clothes and maybe a crown and jewels and all these things. So he looked like Kshatriya. So it is very important that in Vedic terms, whenever the caste was identified, it was identified based on qualities. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Vanya Maya Srushta Guna Karma Vibhagasha. He doesn't say Janma Karma Vibhagasha, right? So Guna Karma Vibhagasha. So though Kali was looking like Kshatriya, right? But he was acting, behaving like Shudra. Earlier we had a word for Aswathama which is called Brahma Bandhu, right? Bandhu, who is by birth he is a Brahmin, but his qualities were not like a Brahmin, right? Similar word is there, Kshatra Bandhu, right? He is by birth he is a Kshatriya, but by qualities he does not have such qualities. So in Vedic terms, even the four sons of same father may adopt a different varna. Somebody may have a predominantly the qualities of goodness and little rajas is there, then he can adopt or he can become a Brahmin, right? Then another one who has a predominant qualities of passion and a little bit, sattva, then he can become Kshatriya. But if somebody has a predominant rajas and he has a tinge of tamoguna, then he is a kind of Vaishya. And he is predominantly in tamoguna and a little bit of rajas is there, then he can become Shudra, right? So the Kali was falling under the fourth criteria, which is Shudra, the complete predominance of tamoguna. Little bit Rajoguna, that was also like in his looks and in appearance. Otherwise, he didn't look like doing any of the act uh, which is as per the Kshatriya Dharma. So it was very astonishing sight for Maharaj Parikshit because in his kingdom, such a heinous act of punishing or killing the cows or bulls was never thought of, even in dreams. So it is very important to understand that the context, time, place, and circumstances of those situations are completely different from nowadays. In fact, when Sut Goswami was describing and narrating this complete incidents, that what Kali was doing and how Parikshit Maharaj reached there and what he decided to do, all these things when he was describing, then at that time, the sages of Naimisharanya, mainly Sudak, Sonak Rishi, he interrupted Suta Goswami, right? In between, at the half point, he was asking a very pertinent question. What question he was asking? He was asking that why Parikshit Maharaj just punished Kali? Just punished. Means why he did not kill Kali. We can understand. I will see the text because first one was low voice. Yes, very low again. Try headphone, Mataji, it's clear. Okay. So hope devotees, my voice is clear for most of the people. Kindly.
Yes, Prabhuji. Clear, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji. It's clear.
Very clear.
Thank you, Mataji. So, why he was not killed, why Kali was not killed, why he was punished only. In the Vedic culture, troubling of cows and bulls are one of the serious misconduct, and the offender is sentenced to death punishment, nothing less than death. So Sanak Muni, the Namisharanya Rishis were asking, how can he be only punished? How can he be spared? It is a very important question. Srila Prabhupada writes in his purport that uh, uh, in the Vedic culture, nobody is expected to trouble the Govans. Govans we call, right? Cows and bulls. They are not spared. They are not allowed to live. He doesn't supposed to breathe even a single moment. So today's world, we have systematic, organized killing of cows and bulls. We are maintaining authorized legal slaughterhouses. It is such a grave scene. India is, I read it before maybe a year or so, that India is #1 exporter of beef. At that time, India was there, right? So it's such a great, misery for all the people. It's not for the country I'm talking about. Across the world, such slaughterhouses are maintained. So imagine the extent of sins incurred by such organized slaughterhouses. People say, why such natural calamities are coming, why there is earthquake, why there is tsunami, why there is endemic, epidemic, why all this, why? We are not seeing it with the eyes of the scripture. We are not examining our own conduct. Things are getting allowed as far as I am able to breathe. It's okay if somebody who is not able to speak can be killed, right? That is the mentality today. We close our eyes, and whatever government comes and goes, the organized killing of Goans is continuing. In the Vedic time, forget killing. If somebody beats a cow, just beating a cow or bull, he is sure to hang till death. So it's very important that we understand the kind of sin which was being performed there by Kali, and the reaction which Parikshit Maharaj had upon seeing the sight. And the Rishi Munis, the Saunak Muni, when he asked the question, then very wonderful question he is asking in the fourth verse, the fourth verse of the 16th chapter. He is asking, just let me. Yeah. So they are asking that if and only if you tell us all this happening between Kali and Parikshit Maharaj, that if it is related to Krishna Katha, right? We know that everybody has ears. We have 2 ears. Krishna has given us 2 ears, right? Only one nose, one mouth, but 2 ears. So everybody has ears. And due to that, we have an inclination to hear something. We want to hear something every time. But in Vedic culture, people were not hearing actually anything and everything on any topic. And right nowadays, we sit on seeing the television, and even in the movie theater, we don't know what is the story. We sit and just whatever he wants to show, Bibhatsras, he wants to show ghastly incidences, anything and everything is being offered on the plate, and we are just spectator and keep accepting. No, Vedic culture, people were very sensitive of their food, very sensitive of their sight, what they are seeing, very sensitive. The most sensitive they were about what they are hearing, right? It was a quality. It is a quality of people who are spiritually advanced. They decide what they will hear and what they will not hear. So the rishis of Naimisharanya, they were they were sitting there for 1,000 years, right? They have more time than us. Yeah, when we started Bhagavatam, then we discussed. So it was said that they have came to perform a yajna for 1,000 years. They have already told at their home that we are not coming for next 1,000 years, right? So they had more time than us. Right? Compared to that, we have a very little time, and still we are liberally, knowingly, unknowingly accepting anything and everything which is coming, right? Whereas Sanak Muni very categorically says to Suta Goswami, yes, you tell us about Kali and the cow and bull and the Parikshit Maharaj, all these things. Please tell us. But tell us only if it is related to Krishna Katha. They were only inclined to hear those topics which were worthy to hear. And the worthiest topic to hear is Harikatha, Krishna Katha. So Sanak Muni says, saying, I am asking about Parikshit Maharaj, I am asking about Kali, but you please decide based on your own judgment to whether to speak those incidences or not. And what will be the criteria? Criteria will be whether those incidences are connected to Krishna. If those are not connected to Krishna, please don't speak those points. So we should at all times be inclined to hear topics that connect us with Krishna, that tells us something about Krishna. Otherwise, it is just unnecessary prajalpa. Atyahara prayasascha niyamo Tyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha, right? Janasangascha laulyasam sarabiri bhakti vinashyati prajalpo. So, prajalpa. The prajalpa is very much against the process of devotional advancement. And we may think that how the topics related to Parikshit Maharaj may be a prajalpa. May not be. Na? He is a pure devotee of the Lord. He got darshana of the Lord in the womb of his mother. How it can be? And at the same time, we know the level of hearers of Srimad Bhagavatam, the rishis of Naimisharanya, they also know the status of Parikshit Maharaj, right? That's why they were asking about birth and activities of Parikshit Maharaj. So they are also very clear that yes, anything and everything which will be related to the pure devotee of the Lord will be definitely related to Krishna, but still they are reconfirming it. They are sure, but still they are reconfirming it. So it is very important that we understand the importance of qualifying criteria for deciding what we should hear and what we should not hear. We may end up the discussions, unnecessary discussions, or we may walk out of the place where the Harikatha is not being discussed. And in our culture, it is being imbibed like anything, like at the crossroads of the city, at the tea stall, so-called pan ka galla, there are so many people have enough time to discuss on sports, on politics, on cinema, so many things. Even a newspaper is being thrown in the morning into house, and people spend sometimes hours to read the newspaper. Everything is a waste of time. So in the fifth sloka, Shaunak speaks, Kasya hetor nijagraha kalim digvijaye nrupaha nudeva chinna drukshudra kosau gaya padahana tatkathyam katyatam mahabhaga yadi krishna katha asrayam. So very important that you tell only if it is a Krishna Katha. Then in sixth verse, अथवास्य पदाम भोज मकरंद लिहाम सताम किमन्यैर सला सदालापैर आयुषो यद सद्वयः. So satam means what?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, maybe the screen has been frozen.
Let me reshare it. Stop sharing and resharing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Text 6 is visible. Title is text 6. As said, the sloka is not text 6.
Yes, Prabhu, it's visible.
Visible.
Text 6.
Yeah. So here there are some more reference about Prajalpa. So that I have tried to cover it up. So we'll straight away go to text 6. Okay, it is coming 8. Fine. So, okay. Text 6, the word comes Satam. Satam means great devotees, right? And the second word is Makaranda Liham. Makaranda Liham is the kind of taste of honey. But it comes from where? Padam Bhoja. Honeybee is extracting honey from Amboja. Amboja means lotus, right? But the devotees of the Lord, they get honey or they get taste, they get devotion from the lotus feet of Krishna, right? What I suggest all devotees, participants, kindly keep the hard copy with you. And if you do not have presently, you can see from Vedabase, but keep the sloka in front of you. So these words, you can catch it. I can share, but then I will have to toggle up here and there. So you keep kindly the sloka in front of you. So the first word we talked is Satam, second is Makarandaliham, third is Padambhoja. So devotee like a honeybee, which gets the honey from the lotus flower. Similarly, the devotees gets the taste or their nectar from the lotus feet of Krishna. That's why Krishna himself puts his thumb in his mouth, which is that bhajan, very famous bhajan. Hare Krishna. Anybody remembers? Vatasya patrasya pute sayanam balam mukundam mansa saranam. Hari bol.
Govinda Stotram. Vatasa Padasa Putasayanam Valam Govindam Mukundam.
Yes.
Kararvinde.
Kararvinde. Manisada. Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you. So, Krishna himself wants to check what is that my devotee are getting from my lotus feet. Let me taste it, right? So, here the word is used, Padambhoja. Ambhoja means lotus. And Padambhoja, Krishna's lotus feet, right? Kunti has used Nama Pankaj Nabhaya, Nama Pankaj Maline, Nama Pankaj Netraya, Namaste Pankaj Angray, right? Angray, that is lotus feet. Similarly. So, then they are asking, first two sentences that how devotees get satisfied or content by drinking nectar from the lotus feet of Krishna, Satam, right? Devotees. Then there comes Kimanne. What is the benefit? What is the having other than Krishna Katha? Kimanne. And the other than Krishna Katha is mentioned as Asad Alapaira. Asad Alapaira means unnecessary topic, bad topic, materialistic topic. And then Ayusha, Ayusha, Vad. Ayusha, Vad. Ayusho Yad Asad Vyaya. So Asad Sabda comes 2 times. In the third line also it is Asad. Fourth line also it is Asad. Right? So first one is Asad means useless, unnecessary. Alapair means talk. Right? And then second one is Asad is Ayusho. Asad means Asad Avyayaha. Vyayaha means expenditure. Right? So our precious duration of human life is unnecessary spent if we discuss topics that are disconnected with Krishna. So let us not waste our time. Even single moment also, once we waste it, we cannot purchase it back, right? The wise people are who? Those are the people who always utilize their time in Krishna conscious activities. Avyartha kalatvam, right? It is a quality of a devotee at bhava stage. They don't spend even a single moment which is bringing their consciousness away from Krishna every moment. But for the sadhaka, for us also, for the devotees who want to reach the bhava state, for them also, this avyartha quality is very important. We can try to apply and imbibe at our own, any of the stage of sadhaka. We must understand if we can organize our time nicely, effectively, we can be much more productive in terms of devotional service. We have so many rajarsis. Those are people who were having so much of material responsibilities. Ambarish Maharaj, right? Chakravarti Samrat, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Chakravarti Samrat, even now Parikshit Maharaj, Chakravarti Samrat. You can imagine how much responsibilities they have, right? Much more than us materially. They are so much in a demanding situation. Entire Bhagavatam is filled with such devotees who are actually Rajarshis, who are kings or Chakravarti Samrats, right? Even recently we can see Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He was a judge, right? And still he having so much of responsibilities, they were maintaining their devotional life very well. Why? How they could do that? They were ensuring to avoid avyartha kalatvam. It is very important. And once a person is very meticulous about his time management, he ensures that his every moment, his every breath is utilized in a direction where he wants to move, right? Then what happens? That whatever he does, it becomes a devotional service. Like Krishna says, Yat karosi yadasnasi yajjuhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Such devotees, whatever they are doing, whatever they are breathing, whatever they are sacrificing, right? Everything becomes a service to Krishna. Parikshit Maharaj punishing Kali is a service to Krishna. So we have another verse in Bhagavatam only, Sthane Stitam Sutikatam Tanuvang Manobhir, right? So you perform your duties according to your Varna and Asrama. Sthane Stitam. Nobody needs to, unnecessarily adopt the duties of other person. He can do whatever he is supposed to do. But by proper time management, one can do both devotional service and material activities hand in hand. And even he can do better than others. Many times we can see devotees perform better in material activities because they are spiritually engaged, because their attention time is much higher. They are able to hear Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam for an hour, and which is a nightmare for non-devotee, right? And such a sattva guna is being cultivated unknowingly by coming in association with the devotees, coming in association with the words of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, with the pastimes of Lord and his devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam. Then person gets completely transformed, and the same person within this little with little less efforts and within less time, he can perform far better than a materialistic person, right? The children who are being trained in Krishna consciousness by their parents consciously, those children generally outperform the children who are of materialistic parents and not being given an opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita and live a Krishna conscious life. How does it happen? In fact, they spare more time for studying scriptures, but still they perform well in their academic exams. How does that happen? So they know the time management. They are not doing avyartha kalatvam. Many times we see that decision that we can take in 10 minutes or 5 minutes, we spend 2 to 3 hours wasting time on comparing the features of various same item of various different brands, on Amazon and Flipkart and Myntra and whatever. Because unknowingly, they feel that this is the main thing, and they spend so much of time. They waste time in gossiping and gossiping. So many rounds can be chanted while we avoid such precious time. So many verses of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam can be read. If we manage our time nicely, we'll have sufficient time for our regular duties also and our spiritual sadhana also. So here they said, Kim Anner Asad Alapai Ayuso Yad Asad Vyayaha. So I would like someone to read Srila Prabhupada's purpose and particularly second paragraph, which starts with our duration of life. It is very important. So Praneshwari Mataji, can you please read? If you
Hare
have,
Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
Prabhuji. Our duration for life is not very long, and there is no certainty of when we shall be ordered to leave everything for the next stage. Thus, it is our duty to see that not a moment of our life is wasted in topics which are not related with Lord Krishna. Any topic, however pleasant, is not worth hearing if it is devoid of its relation to Krishna.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. Up to
Thank you.
10. Yes, thank you. So, Prabhupada makes it very clear. Any topic which is not related to Krishna, not required to hear, right? So this is the criteria. If we follow, then we'll be able to, decide what to do and what not to do. So here there are a few more verses are there from Srimad Bhagavatam. In the slide we can see the third canto, 15th chapter, 23rd verse. And here also it is mentioned, very much regrettable that unfortunate people do not discuss the description of Vaikuntha Paradise. This is basically the glory of Dhamma. If we don't discuss but engage in the topics which are unworthy to hear and which bewilder one's intelligence, those who give up the topics of Vaikuntha and take to talk of material world are thrown into the darkest region of the ignorance. This is very important. Even people go to Dhama, let's say Vrindavan or Mayapur or Jagannath Puri, they go there and they talk about material things, right? They can see the kachra, they can see the people speaking life languages and all these things. So it is a utter loss. Then again, in the second canto, first chapter, second verse, they say that it is said that Sota Vyadini Rajendra Nrinam Shanti Sahasrasa Apashyatam Atma Tattvam Grihesu Grimedinam. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters of hearing. Many subject matters, right? That's why we see that YouTube is being flooded with new and new videos. Instagrams, Facebook, you can see people just keep on throwing garbage, and people who are not having any importance of their time, precious time in human life, they waste it like anything. Then the second canto, eighth verse, eighth chapter and fifth verse. The sound incarnation of Krishna, the super soul, enters into the heart of a self-realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship, and thus cleanses the dust of material association. Just we are telling many times that whenever somebody joins new in Krishna consciousness, we don't tell him कि ये छोड़ दो वो छोड़ दो. परम पूज्य नामनिष्ठ Prabhu says that छोड़ना नहीं जोड़ना है, right? So he has to start chanting Hare Krishna. How does it work? Then simply by hearing it, it cleanses the dust of material associations such as lust, anger, and hankering. Thus it acts like a autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water. Completely cleaning happens. Right? So sometimes they say that the Krishna is the best cleaning contractor. Right? Once you engage such a contractor, then you need not to worry. Everything and anything will be clean. So it is like that. So now it's a glory of Krishna Katha. Seventh and eighth verse here it is being talked about. So nakaschin mriyate tavad yavad asta ihantaka etad artham hi bhagavan ahuta paramarshibhi. Before that there is a seventh verse. Shudra Yusam Nunamanga. Actually, the slide has limited verses, but a few points I want to make for other verses also. So kindly keep that book open in front of. Shudra Yusam Nunamanga Martyanam Amrutam Iho Pahuto Bhagavana Mrityu Samitra Karmani. So Shudrayunam. Shudra means very insignificant. and Ayusham is the lifespan. So I would request Shashi Kumar Prabhu, can you please read the translation? Only translation. O Sutta Goswami.
Loka 7, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Sutta Goswami, there are those amongst the men who desire freedom from death and get eternal life. They escape the slaughtering process by calling the controller of death, Yamaraja. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad, Prabhuji.
Dhanyavad.
Yes. Here is a description of a person who spends his time judiciously, very carefully. How? Hearing Krishna Katha. And thus what is the outcome? Outcome is he escapes death. He enters eternal life. Material world has a very short life. Even if somebody is born in a, let's say, Satyuga, still that life is like a bubble in an ocean compared to the life of Brahma, or even compared to the eternity, the life which the devotees in the spiritual world have. It is like a bubble. Now, if we don't talk about the life of Satyuga people, then Kali Yuga is nothing. So material life is very short. Spiritual world is no birth, no death. So whenever we are hearing Hari Katha, Yamraj himself comes and he sits into the Hari Katha and he hears. So if Yamraj is here, then there is no chance of death, right? So very nicely it is mentioned. I would request, yes, Sarita Mataji, can you please read from
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yamraj is a great devotee. From that line, kindly read.
The seventh purport, is it?
Seventh purport. Yamraj is a great devotee. Last, maybe second or third line.
Okay. Yamraj is a great devotee of the Lord, and he likes to be invited to kirtanas and sacrifices by the pure devotees who are constantly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Thus, the great sages, headed by Shaunaka and others, invited Yamaraja to attend the sacrifice performed at Naimisharanya. This was good for those who did not want to die. Hare Krishna.
Very well. So wonderful key is given. Right. So if you don't want to die, what we should do? We should hear Harikatha and we should invite Yamaraj. Right. And here the sages of Naimisharanya were very smart. Generally, Krishna's devotees are always intelligent. And they invited Yamaraja to attend the sacrifice. And Prabhupada gives a final punchline. This was good for those who did not want to die. So if you don't want to die, here Krishna Katha. Very nice. So then the next verse, 8th verse, which is on the screen. So yes, may I request Chanda Mataji, can you please read the translation? As long as Yamraja, it is on screen also. You are on mute, Mataji. Achha, it's not coming out.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, did you ask me to read?
Yes.
As long as Yamaraja, who caused everyone's death, is present here, no one shall meet with death. The great sages have invited the controller of death, Yamaraja, who is representative of the Lord. Living beings who are under his grip should take advantage by hearing the deathless nectar in the form of this narration of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. SB 1.16.8.
Hare
Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Aho Nriloke, the second last line. Aho Nriloke Piyeta Hari Lilamritam Vacha. Nriloke means group of human beings. Piyeta means drink. Drink what? Hari Lilamritam. An open invitation is given to everyone to hear Hari Katha. And how many times? Repeatedly, again and again. And actually, Bhagavatam is beginning at the start also. We have Krishna Katha. At the start of Bhagavatam, there is an invitation for Krishna Katha. Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. So complete Srimad Bhagavatam is a ocean of nectarian Harikatha. Drink it, drink it, drink it. This is an open invitation. And after the start again, once again, there is an invitation. An invitation card is also being sent to Yamraja. So Srila Prabhupada's purport is small, but very important. Sanvika Mataji, can you please read the purport?
Prabhuji, now I can read. Am I audible?
Yes. Every human being.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Koti Koti Danvat Pranam.
Sanvika Mataji is there?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Please read, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I have to read from here, a purport of the 8th one.
Every human being dislikes.
Every human being dislikes meeting death, but he does not know how to get rid of death. The surest remedy for avoiding death is to accustom oneself to hearing the nectarian pastimes of the Lord, as they are systematically narrated in the text of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is advised herein, therefore, that any human being who desires freedom from death should take to this course of life as recommended by the rishis headed by Shaunaka. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. So surest way is to hear Krishna Katha. Anybody remembers the sloka that how by hearing Hari Katha, we are avoiding all difficulties, suffering.
Shrunvatam Swakatha Krishna Prabhuji. Is it that shloka?
Shrunvatam
Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha
Hrudyantasthuya bhadrani vidhunoti
Surutsatam Nashta Prayesha Bhadresha.
That's fine. Thank you, Mataji. So that sloka is like by hearing Krishna Katha, the anarthas are being removed, right? Now what I'm asking is about difficulties, suffering, the pangs of heart, the pain, danger. So how that can which sloka it is mentioned?
Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktirutpadyate pumsa shokamoha bhayapaha.
Shokamoha bhayapaha. Very nice, Mataji. That is also wonderful verse. Shokamoha bhayapaham. All three goes, right? Fear, lamentation, and Shokamoha. Moh is okay. So, and then another verse, if you can quickly fetch out the first canto, 6th verse, 6th chapter, 34th verse.
Anartha Vasham Sakyat
164. Eveda atura chittana. Hare Krishna. Manosparshe.
Etadhi atura chittanam matra sparshecha yamuhu bhavasindu pramudrushto hari kalyanu varnanam.
Very nice, Mataji. Can you please read the translation also?
Prabhuji, I will take it. I've got a Kannada book, that is the problem.
Okay.
Prabhuji, I'll read.
Please.
It's personally experienced by me that those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to the desiring contact of the senses with their objects can cross the ocean of science on most suitable boat. The constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad, Mataji. So all the material ranks can be removed. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So it is very, very easy if we continuously get shelter of Krishna Katha, then it is easy for us to pass through the difficult moments of our life, to be able to tolerate more, and to be able to elevate our consciousness above the circumstances of our life. And we can see a broader picture wherein we see a very tiny role of ourselves. And thus, we can decide that at any point and any moment of our life, the most important is to remain focused on Krishna Katha, right? And thus, any situation becomes smaller for us, right? Then we are able to transcend the situation. It's not that situation may change for us, but we change ourselves in such a way that things become simpler, easier, and be able to pass through. So here there are several slokas which are given in that reference. One is 6th canto, 3rd chapter, 27th verse. I think it's related to Vishnu Duta and Yamaduta. So they say, my dear servants, please do not approach such devotees, for they have fully surrendered to the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead. These are the words of Yamraj himself. When Yamdutas went hastily to Yamraj and complains that there is another authority which is appearing, and we till now felt that you are the supreme authority, but now we found that there is somebody above you also. So Yamraj says that never approach such devotees. They are equal to everyone, and their narrations are sung by the demigods and inhabitants of Siddhaloka. Do not even go near them. Yeah, what a command Yamraj gives to his Yamdutas, The words are like, thunderbolt. Please do not go even near to them. They are always protected by the club of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gadaya bhi Guptan. And therefore, Lord Brahma and I, even the time factor, are not competent to chastise them. Not competent. The master tells to his servant that I am not competent. We can understand the gravity of the words. Then again, another verse is that I may not always be found in heaven. Na ham vasami vaikunthe yoginam hridayena cha mad bhaktan yatra gayanti tatra tishtami narada. It is called Virodhalankar. And when we study the grammar, it is called Virodhalankar. And in English also there is a wonderful word, oxymoron. Oxymoron means it says that when Krishna says Naham Vasami Vaikunthe, right? He says even Yoginam Hridaye Nacha. It doesn't mean that Krishna is not there in Vaikuntha, right? But it means that he loves to be and he is always there. Where? Mad Bhakta Yatra Gayanti. So that is the most important place I want to be. So two different things. I mean, two opposites are in one sentence. So this is the classic example. So again, here the example is given. Mother Rohini describing Krishna, Balram's pastime in Vrindavan to the queens of Dwarka, resulting in Krishna, Balram, Subhadra manifesting the ecstatic form of Lord Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra. Haribol. Then Pragya Manam cha Yasa Krishna Mahatma Suchakam. Glorification of all Pandavas were indicating the glories. Okay, this has directly come to 13th verse, but I would like to also touch upon the in-between verses, few of them, like 9th verse. Mandasya manda pragnasya kyo mandayusascha vai nidraya hriyate naktam divacha vyartha karma bhi. So, qualities of Kali Yuga people, qualities of myself and all of us is there. Mandaha, they are very lazy. Manda pragnasya, pragna is intelligence. So their intelligence is how? Very poor. Manda yushaha, their lifespan is also very less, right, compared to other yugas. And in this sloka, if you see 3 times manda, manda, manda is used, this is the quality. And they mention that at night they spend their time in sleeping, and daytime they waste their time in useless activities. This is how duration of human life is spent, especially in Kali Yuga. Though human life is so precious, people of Kali Yuga are accustomed to waste human life in sense enjoyment. This is the purport of the verse. So Sutta Goswami replies from the 10th verse, 10th, 11th, and 12th. These are kind of storylines. So let us go one by one. I would request, yes, Sita Lakshmi Mataji, can you please read the translation of 10th verse? Hare Krishna Mataji. Sutta Goswami said.
Prabhu, which verse, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
10th.
10th. One minute, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Suta Goswami said, while Maharaja Parikshit was residing in the capital of the Kuru Empire, the symptoms of the age of Kali began to infiltrate within the jurisdiction of his state. When he learned about this, he did not think the matter very palatable. This did, however, give him a chance to fight. He took up the bow and arrows and prepared himself for military activities. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, Kali has entered to this planet, actually the kingdom of Maharaj Parikshit. And how did he enter and how it was noticeable? The Kali transformed the minds of people. And Parikshit Maharaj was very sensitive. That no, I am not going to allow this. I am not going to tolerate this to happen. So he took his bows and arrows. It's a Kshatriya quality, right? Kshatriya is supposed to take immediate actions so that the general populace are not affected whenever there is an external attack. And this attack is even more subtle. And as a leader of complete earth, he was supposed to take action, and he didn't think for a moment. Immediately he gets ready with his weapons, right? He didn't think that how powerful the Kali would be, or whether it is my duty, or I can send my army. Many a times it is being responsibilities are given to somebody else. But no, he was very clear. I am Kshatriya. This is my dharma, and for my dharma, I am ready to fight. Like Arjuna, when Arjuna was told by Krishna that your dharma is to fight, and even if his heart was not with him to kill his grandfather, to kill his teacher, to kill his brothers, but he got ready to do it. Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj was not thinking for a moment, and he gets ready. And what are the symptoms of Kali? That point is very important, which Prabhupada has mentioned. So I would request somebody to read that, particularly those 4 points. Just a moment, let me tell.
Krishna Prabhu, can you read?
Please, Mataji. Start from what are the symptoms of age of Kali, that question in purport, and that 4 points.
What are the symptoms? Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What are the symptoms of the age of Kali? They are illicit connection with women, indulging in meat eating, intoxication, taking pleasure in gambling. The age of Kali literally means the age of corn. And above mentioned 4 symptoms.
Yes, 4 symptoms in human society. Yes, please finish that.
Are not causes for all kinds of corn. Hare Krishna.
Are the root causes, right? Root causes for all kinds of quarrel.
Yeah, root causes of all kinds of quarrel.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So these are the 4 symptoms of Kali. And Prabhupada says, how can we identify Kali? We can identify by these 4 symptoms, right? And these 4 symptoms are transcendental to any varna and any asrama. We can see the fallout of sannyasis due to illicit relationships, or even by involving in the misconducts of financial matters, right? We can see so many incidences are happening. What is this? How such a person, an exalted spirit whom thousands and lakhs of people are following, he gets trapped into the financial irregularities. How does that happen? Because Kali is very prevalent, right? It spoils the mind, it spoils the consciousness of people. So that's why Prabhupada has put up these 4 principles. If Prabhupada would have thought that people would read the Vedas and they will work it out, do this and do that, don't do this, then it would be very difficult. The Acharya is makes the things easy for the people. Even if they are not able to study at the start, they are not able to understand many things or hear from authorized sources. Still, if they are able to understand, these are the 4 principles I have to follow if I have to I have to be able to get initiation, right? And if he is able to commit it, then He's a okay candidate for Diksha. Why? Because then Kali will not work on him. Because then he will not perform those sinful acts, at least. And then he will be saved. It will be easy for the spiritual master to save him if he is out from the jaws of Kali. And even if after taking these things, we every day perform parikrama of Tulsi. Yani kani cha papani, brahmatyadi kani cha, tani tani pranashyanti, pradakshini pade pade. Right? Still, if we have taken a vow, but knowingly and unknowingly, due to our deep conditioning from the births, many births, if we are performing anything, the acts which is violating our commitments to spiritual master, then every day morning we are doing that, right? So that we can be out of the jaws of Kali. Okay, so that is very important. Now, 11th verse, I would request Mohandas Prabhu, can you please read the translation of 11th verse? Maharaja Parikshit.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Maharaja Parikshit sat on the chariot drawn by the black horses. His flag was marked with the sign of a lion. Being so decorated and surrounded by charioteers, cavalry, elephants, and infantry soldiers, he left the capital to conquer in all directions. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So it is very clear. He sets for winning all directions. No area, no direction should be spared. Parikshit Maharaj was very clear, right? Because Kali is so subtle, it can penetrate anywhere and everywhere. So, though he was a Chakravarti Samrat means all kings are under one umbrella, right? Under the umbrella of Parikshit Maharaj, under the umbrella of Hastinapur. But still he decides to move forward immediately. So it's clear, nothing more to discuss. Now we go to 12th chapter. So yes, Radha Ranjan Krishnadas Prabhu, can you please read the translation of the 12th verse?
Sure.
Maharaja Parikshit.
Maharaja Parikshit then conquered all parts of the earthly planet, Bhadraswa, Vetumala, Bharata, the northern Kuru, Kimpurusha, etc., and exacted tributes from their respective rulers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So these are various tracts of land on this Bhumandala, this planet Earth. These are various tracts. Like presently we have various oceans and various islands, right? Similarly, these are the tracks at that time. And he went everywhere. And he was searching for Kali. Where is Kali? Where is Kali? Where is Kali? And then he was establishing his supremacy everywhere. Wherever he went, he was victorious. He could outrightly, take the charge of the complete area. Yes, we come to 13th verse. So 13th verse translation, we would like to read, not completely, but still okay. We can read, no problem.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please. Wherever.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Wherever the king visited, he continuously heard the glories of his great forefathers, who were all devotees of the Lord, and also of the glorious acts of Lord Krishna. He also heard how he himself had been protected by the Lord from the powerful heat of the weapon of Ashwatthama. People also mentioned the great affection between the descendants of Vrishni and Pritha due to the latter's great devotion to Lord Keshava. The king, being very pleased with the singers of such glories, opened his eyes in great satisfaction. Out of magnanimity, he was pleased to award them very valuable necklaces and clothing. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, wherever the king visited, so what he heard from the people, Parikshit Maharaj was also very a profound spiritual person, and he's deciding what he will hear is also very important, right? So 4 things he heard. The first thing is glories of his great-grandfathers, Pandavas. If that much only would have been told by people, he would not have been so much happy or satisfied. Okay. Many a times people, pompously say things which are being liked by the person in command, in charge of very powerful position. So if people would have told only about how great the Yudhishthir was, how great was Arjuna, or how great was other brothers, Bhima and other brothers, then he would not have been very happy. But that was one part of it. Then second part, how Krishna was glorious. Yes, that was very much interesting. And then third thing is how Pandavas were devoted to Krishna. So all the three were important. And then people also didn't live there. They also covered Parikshit. They said that how you yourself were fortunate when you were in the womb of your mother. Then Lord Krishna himself came inside the womb and saved you. So all these 4 points were very pleased to Parikshit Maharaj. So whenever we see in even recent king's stories, when the king is very pleased, then he will remove some of the necklaces and malas and he will just give it to the person who is singing his glories, right? Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj was also doing that, but he was not the mundane, normal king, right? He was very happy because his ancestors were connected to Krishna. He was very happy because the Krishna was glorified. He was very happy because in his life also, the people were glorifying Krishna for saving him. So all these things were very pleasing to Parikshit Maharaj. So we are seeing here that Parikshit Maharaj has a special quality, the quality to hear Krishna Katha. And when he hears this, he gets nourished. Parikshit Maharaj's heart gets content, right? He gets nourished. So even in the exchange of devotee and Krishna, devotees gets nourished when they see the reciprocation of Krishna. And Krishna, when he sees that how much their devotees are feeling content and nourished by glorifying him, then Krishna also gets nourished, right? And not only these two, Krishna and devotees, the other devotees or the other people who are able to understand this reciprocating loving relationship between the Lord and his devotees, and the nourishment what their devotees are getting and nourishment what Krishna is getting, those people are also getting nourished, right? So it's not only devotees and Krishna, it's the people also who are hearing this, they are also getting nourished, right? So it is something that we all sitting here are also getting benefited by hearing that how Parikshit Maharaj was pleased. Our own spiritual upliftment happens. So the loving relationship between the Lord and his devotee, or the devotees and devotees, the friendly givings and takings, all these things are very important for spiritual progress. Philosophy is there. Philosophy appeals our intelligence, but we continue to stay in Krishna consciousness and in devotional life by what? By understanding these loving relationships between the Lord and the devotee and the devotee and the devotee. Right? It is becoming easy to sustain in bhakti. So understanding Krishna Tattva is definitely very important and intellectually very enticing for all of us. But it is at one level. Above that, cultivating emotion for Krishna, love for Krishna, love for Krishna's devotees, a love for the servants of the Krishna, Krishna's devotees servant. These are all on higher level than understanding the Krishna Tattva. Krishna says, Mayeva mana adhasya, mai buddhim niveshaya. He didn't put buddhi first, right? He put mana first. Buddhi comes second. So highest form of bhakti is to have loving feelings for Krishna, loving emotions for Krishna, bhav for Krishna. And little lesser than that is about understanding Krishna's divinity. That is also great. We are not minimizing the importance of understanding Krishna Tattva, but we don't just stop at intellectual understanding of Krishna's position. We need to move ahead. in our spiritual journey, we need to love Krishna. We need to cultivate the sweet emotions for Krishna, sweet emotions for his devotees. Krishna said again, I think in 10th chapter, Buddha Bhava Samanvita. He didn't say just Buddha Samanvita, Bhava Samanvita. Emotions, bhav. Philosophical understanding and emotions, both are important. So Pandavas had both. And hearing these narratives, Parikshit Maharaj got very much pleased. He felt nourished, right? Srila Prabhupada has beautiful statement. I would like somebody to read from Purport. Krishna and his unalloyed devotees cannot be separated from there. Who has not read till now?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Please find out Krishna and his unalloyed devotees cannot be separated.
Yes, Prabhuji, I got it. Shloka 15 purport, right? Second paragraph.
Yes, Mataji.
Krishna and his unalloyed devotees cannot be separated. And therefore, glorifying the devotee means glorifying the Lord and vice versa. Maharaja Parikshit would not have been glad to hear about the glories of his forefathers like Maharaja Yudhishthira and Arjuna had they not been connected with the acts of Lord Krishna. The Lord descends specifically to deliver his devotees paritranaya sadhuna. The devotees are glorified by the presence of the Lord because they cannot live for a moment without the presence of the Lord and his different energies. The Lord is present for the devotee by his acts and glories. And therefore, Maharaja Parikshit felt the presence of the Lord when he was glorified by his acts, especially when he was saved by the Lord in the womb of his mother. The devotees of the Lord are never in danger, but in the material world, which is full of dangers at every step, the devotees are apparently placed into dangerous positions. And when they are saved by the Lord is glorified. Lord Krishna would not have been glorified as the speaker of the Bhagavad Gita had his devotees like the Pandavas not been entangled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. All such acts of the Lord were mentioned in the addresses of welcome, and Parikshit Maharaj, in full satisfaction, rewarded those who presented such addresses.
Okay,
The
Mataji.
difference.
Okay,
Hare
thank you, Mataji.
Krishna.
Yes, Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna. So, what makes a person glorious is his connection to Krishna. We may be great scholars, we may become great philosophers, we may become multimillionaires, we may become social media influencer nowadays, 10 million followers, so many. But all these things will fade away one day. There will be a star or celebrity in one era, but he is forgotten convincingly by the next generation when the new star comes up. Maybe sports star or movie star or businessman, whatever it may be. But whom we are talking about? We are talking about the celebrities before 5,000 years. Many times we discuss even 10,000 years in Bhagavatam. The celebrities of such a old age we are talking about. We talk about Parikshit Maharaj. We talk about Ambarish. We'll talk about Ambarish Maharaj. These are real celebrities. Na? Why they are real celebrities? They love Krishna. Devotees don't like popularity, but real popularity is to be known as devotee of the Lord. It is very important to know that Parikshit Maharaj was not fond of hearing glories of his ancestors because he was coming from that lineage. And generally, people, they feel very much happy to hear glories about his ancestors. But Parikshit Maharaj is not such a person. He is one of the greatest devotees. There is one saying in Hindi, Pratishta Nari Sada Kumari, popular saying. Normal people run behind Pratishta. Mana Puja Pratishta, as Param Puja Namanishta Prabhu many a times says. Na? So, Labha Puja Pratishta maybe. So, they run behind Pratishta. But devotee, Devotee doesn't, in fact, Pratishtha runs behind a devotee. There is a wonderful that incidence of Madhavi in the Purina. The Krishna himself, Gopinath himself steals that Amrut Keli kheer for him. Madhavendra Puri did not want to taste it for himself. He wanted to taste because he thought that if I can taste it, then I can understand the recipe and can make it for my Gopalji who is in Vrindavan. Right? His purpose was that. And for that, Gopinathji himself stole, and then he came into the dream of that Pujari. And then Pujari also, without any envy, he also wakes up and immediately takes bath and runs to the temple and find out that port. And again he goes to the market and he shouts the name of Madhavendra Puri, and then he finds him and gives him. And Madhavendra Puri very happily eats that kira, Amrut Keli kira. And then he breaks the pot. So we'll think, अरे ये pot तो खुद भगवान का हाथ का, it has been touched by Krishna himself, Gopinath ji himself. Why he should break it? No, he will break it and then he want to eat it because it is touched by Krishna. Every day he will take a small portion and he will eat it. And then he realized that, oh, tomorrow people of this city will know that Krishna himself has stolen Kira for me. So he did not stay there for a moment. Immediately he ran away. He went away for Puri to collect that Chandana for Krishna, right, for Gopalji. But then before he reaches the Puri, his fame reaches there. That Krishna has stolen Amrita Keli Kira for him. So people were, garlanding him and, receiving him. So then also he utilizes that fame and prestige for Krishna only. They say, okay, you know me now, so kindly know my purpose also. Please give me some chandana, sandal. And then people gives him some 40 ton of chandan and some huge similar equivalent portion of camphor. And they give even government approvals and permissions, because it has to cross several borders. And then the people also to carry it, So all these things. So devotee is not behind prestige any point of time. He is always running away from prestige. And if at all he receives the prestige, he will use it for Krishna only. Like he will not use it for himself. And actually, Krishna is called Bhaktanam Manavardhanam. Krishna always likes that his devotees being glorified. He will not leave a single point wherein his devotees may get some glorification. We know the names of Krishna. Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva. Yashoda Nandan, the son of Yashoda. Devaki Nandan, the son of Devaki. Bhishma Pitama says Vijaya Sakha. Vijaya Sakha means Arjun's friend, right? In fact, he loves more if he directly tells Krishna, but if he says the name which is connected with his devotee, he appreciates a lot. Radha Pati, Radha Raman. There is a wonderful stotra. I do not remember the name, but the words are in the entire verse, there is no name of Krishna, but still it is one of the best prayers of Krishna. Radha Radhita Radesha, Radhika Prana Vallabha, Radha Ramana Vanditva, Radhika Prema Nirjita. All the words are about Radharani, but the meaning of all the words is Radharani's object of affection, Radharani's Prana Vallabha, Radharani, Prema Nirjiva, all these things, right? And whom I give my obeisances. So all these things. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also known from the names of his devotees. Vasudeva Amrita Prada, from Vasudeva, whom he made free from, I think, some of the diseases. Then is known Sarvabhauma Sodhana, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he guided, So all these things. Here we can see on the slide the glorification of Pandavas in text 13. We, I think, have read this. The most important wealth the Pandava had was that Krishna was their Suhrita, well-wisher, most dear friend. That was the important wealth. Arjuna, when he was given an opportunity to select either Krishna or Chaturangi Sena, Arjuna knew my wealth is Krishna. Right? He didn't take a moment also. Duryodhana felt he's such a foolish person. He got an opportunity to take Chaturangi Sena, and then still he took Krishna, and that is also without weapons. What to do? Anyway, so another point which is already I think we have read. So, but the example is important. Lord Narasimha Dev is famous mainly due to the severe prosecutions of Bhakta Prahlad. If you read the Bhagavatam, entire the canto, if you see, maybe most of the portion is dedicated to Prahlad Maharaj's pastimes, right? In the end, only Narasimha Dev comes for few of the verses, right? And there also even there are prayers from Prahlad Maharaj and all these things. Narasimha Dev speaks very few verses, and then entire canto is about Prahlad Maharaj. So Narasimha Dev himself is very happy when Prahlad Maharaj is glorified. Okay, I think our today's agenda is up to 15, so we'll end it today. We are ahead by a few minutes, maybe 5 to 7 minutes. So if any questions is there, we can take, or otherwise we can stop it here. Hare Krishna. Okay, there are many chat boxes filled with some. Okay, fine. It's attendance up. Hare Krishna. So, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrin ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Thank you,
Pranam
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare
Pranam
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Nice class.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Thank
Pranam,
you.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Koti Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you. Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna attendance.
Attendance is posted, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mohandas Prabhu is posted.